Good? Awesome? Maybe? Perfect. Hello there and welcome back to another Thunder's Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up, guys? And how are we doing? Yes, am I obsessed? Maybe just a little bit. Oh, I've had several videos on these builds, and I can finally say we are done. The Missouris are complete, the old one and the new one. Unless we get some major block changes over the next several years in Minecraft, these will never get touched again. I am pretty sure I have just about everything as accurate and as detailed as I think I can get them. I don't know, I've got well over 100 hours now on these things, guys. Pretty much been obsessing over these two ships since I came back from Pearl Harbor just a few short weeks ago. So anyways, hopefully you guys have already seen the transformation video, which was totally awesome, comparing the very old one to the two new ones. And this is what it looks like in our main world, where I'm doing the Pearl Harbor Welcome Center, or the Missouri Memorial, I think is what I'm calling it. So anyways, is what we're going to do in this video is, yes, like usual, we are going to go aboard both of these ships, and we're going to look at the older one and see what did I get right. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the other world. Alright guys, so here we are in one of my test flat worlds. Actually, this is a tutorial world, and this is where I will eventually break this thing down. I had a lot of questions about this, and I know I've covered it in the past, but I'm going to take the time again to say this is another extremely hard build. I've got several hundred hours in this build, and yes, I will do a tutorial on both versions. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that over here. So anyways, I've got two other ships to do first as of this video, and then I will do a Missouri tutorial update build. But I thought it would be neat to go in here and see the different changes that has happened since way back here, the very first one that I made, all the way up through. I know I did the transformation video. For those who just kind of want to see it, this is more for people who actually want to get up close and personal and see all the different details and things that I changed. And it's very dramatic. I mean, you can see these are way taller than the original versions, which was, you know, I had to lift everything up. But anyways, let's start over here. This was the first version, and a lot of you already have this in your world. This is what you have. And I did not realize really how plain this thing looked, and how much did I get right, how much did I get wrong. The funnels, way off. I mean, really small. Like I said, when I first made this here, I had so much room that I could have, you know, easily brought these funnels way back, and I made these little stacks, and they're just horrible. The 5-inch guns at the time, that's what they look like. And then a few weeks ago, or a month ago, I guess, we went to this version right here. It looks a lot better than what we started with. Very blocky, and not very much detail. The main bridge area, again, this is all wrong. I had an extra layer up in here just for looks, but if you look at the actual one down here, you can see that the bridge is where it's supposed to be. Now, on the second one that I did, which was the second update video, stay with me, guys, this is going to get confusing. This is the second one that I made about a month ago, and I left everything here the same. This was before I went to Pearl Harbor, so is what I did on this one is I fixed the main guns. That was the biggest thing that got changed on this, and then I did like an aboard the Missouri rebuild, and I went over some of the things that I changed on that, and basically I modernized it. I don't think I did too much to, well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I went through, I changed all the teak decking over, changed the 5-inch guns, changed the airplanes in the back. They're more detailed now. The funnels still stayed the same. You can see how little shrimpy those things are. And let's see, the planes got a nice major overhaul, and the crane here in the back. And then, of course, the guns, you know, facing, you know, to the port starboard instead of to the aft, like it did here on the first one. And of course, redesigning the launch system. So it got a pretty good overhaul. Even up to this point, I probably still had another probably 20-25 hours just refitting some of this stuff, and thought I was pretty happy with it. But I knew I was going out to Pearl Harbor, and I would get a lot more detailed pictures. So we went to this one. We went to Pearl Harbor, and then we came back. And this was the next one that I've been working on for the past 2.5, 3 weeks, almost obsessively. You could say obsessively. This is all I have worked on since I came back. I did 2 other Let's Build videos, but other than that, every hour that I've had free, I've been in here in front of the computer reworking all the Missouri and just redetailing with all the pictures that I got, and just making this thing just as primo as possible. So the major refits that we did on this one here versus this one, is most of it, the majority of it, comes in the main superstructure. Everything here in the middle, everything up to the front I didn't touch, pretty much left the same. But everything in the middle got a huge overhaul, especially the bridge like I was showing off just a minute ago. This whole top piece looks more like a crown. It looks like a crown jewel that kind of sits on top of the bridge area. These might be a little bit tall, but that's all we have to work with in Minecraft. So I still think it turned out really good. I got the citadel in now. That goes all the way down through and all the way down in the middle of the ship, which is the safest part of this entire ship. It's very thick walled and very well protected, but as you can see here, it's much higher than this one over here. So that was one of the biggest mistakes that I had on this one, is I didn't have enough floors, because as I was building up and I realized I had my decks wrong, I basically had to take MC Edit and lift this up about 3 or 4 blocks. I can't remember exactly how much, but that was one of the first things I did after I redesigned the bridge area, because the video that I posted of me and my dad actually taking a tour on the ship, this is the path that we took right here. We walked right here up these stairs by this 5-inch gun. We walked around the back, looked in the back side of this, came back around, came up the stairs to this 5-inch gun. This section up here was closed off. This is pretty hard to get right here. The stairs were really steep, and that's the best I can do. I really didn't want to put a ladder in, but this is pretty close. It's fairly accurate. Like I said, I just had to make a few minor adjustments. But anyways, we walked around this 5-inch gun, came down this deck to this spot right here. And this 5-inch gun is not here. And I actually should go over the tour a little bit more on the modern version. But anyways, where I was going with that is I needed an extra deck here at the 5-inch gun. As you can see right here, where you come up into this section here and then walk up into the back side of the tower. I needed this extra floor piece in. So I had to lift everything up and then put it in, because this piece here was down here. And I knew we'd climb some stairs to get up to this midsection right in here. So anyways, none of that got touched. The main funnels all got redesigned, both front and back. Basically redesigned this one here, popped it up front with a little copy and paste, and then did a little bit of fitting in and some handwork to get it to fit a little bit better. The 5-inch gun directional unit here, this one doesn't even have one. So the 5-inch gun directors here are added now, and like I said, I didn't have that on that one. The 16-inch gun director, which is up here, looks like that. Now it looks like this. So this is your 16-inch gun directors up here, and I didn't even know what these were until I went on the ship. And there's one here on the aft part too. Right, I believe it's this one and that one are your gun directors. I can't remember. I've been so just swallowed up in this damn build, I'm starting to forget things. And that's another reason why I want to just stay right with this build, so that I could get everything done and I didn't wait and then try to do this a couple weeks down the road, a month down the road, 2 months down the road, and then kind of forget where everything went or where everything was. Anyways, completely redesigned this inner piece because I had to make the funnel bigger. I had to scoot everything back. I had to bring this piece out. It was obviously just... it didn't even look right. This was supposed to be more at an angle, which gave us more room for these type guns here. So what I did is I built the this version first, and then went through and ripped out the guns, and then added the new towers here, the antenna towers, like right there. Switched them out. That way I had everything on the ship was exactly the same. So when I do a tutorial, you're going to build this version, and along the way, as we're building it, and let's say we get to this point right here, I'm going to say leave this one out if you're doing the modern version, or I'll just say wait to the end of the tutorial after you get it all done. When I start part 2 of it, or it'll actually be a second tutorial, we're going to pick up right here. So we're going to go through and we're going to start ripping everything off the build. So you're going to have to build the World War II version first, the way I've got this figured out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do 2 brand new 3.5-hour tutorials, and that's going to be rough on me. So it's going to be really easy because, like I said, the hull and everything in the middle is pretty much the same. The big differences are the Tomahawk stations, the Sea stations, the Harpoon stations right here. All that I tried to basically not change this too much. I just took this here and connected it across and brought this back, and that way it makes it really easy to just put everything in, and you just take out the middles and then just connect the long pieces and plop the guns on and make it really simple. Same thing right here. Now down here at the boat station, there'll be some changes down here. Ripped out this back wall, these lower anti-aircraft guns right here. All that gets ripped off, and that little boat gets tore out, and then the big boat station here gets put in. That looks pretty cool. It's got a nice little cover on that thing. That turned out really nice. But anyways, and then this piece here is a drop fit on it. They welded a big platform on top of this, and then basically like a big flat pancake over top this area right here. So they took this gun out, they extended this, and then brought this around basically to where this wall is, and then connected it in the back. So that's what I tried to do with this here, is I just brought these walls up, trying to make it as simple as possible again, and it's easy on me to make the tutorial when the time comes. This is still in purple in this schematic. This is where the control tower is for the helicopter pad, or the flight deck back here. So that's added on from the World War II version. Of course, all the guns in the back are gone, all around the side. This crane was installed, and this I never figured out what exactly this thing is. So if somebody knows what that is, please let me know. It's some kind of a crane, but I'm not sure what it does. It's not on the older ship. This was on the refit. So anyways, if somebody knows what that is, please let me know. Back here at the Tomahawk cruise missile station here, and there's one up front, there's blast pads. So basically these go at an angle because of Minecraft. That's kind of hard to do. There's a blast shield right here that goes along, and that's the best I could come up with that. I think it turned out pretty good. And then same thing behind these, the Harpoon stations. There's supposed to be some big metal blast pads behind those too, and we just don't have anything that works in there. The middle funnel gets some side cranes, I guess for loading stuff. Again, I'm not 100% sure. You could only see this from down here. You actually couldn't get up onto these deck areas to see exactly what all this stuff here was. So a lot of this was just built off a lot of the pictures that I took. And then the new radar system, they took off all the old World War II, late 40s radar systems that were severely outdated, and condensed them into the new radar stations, and then a new radar tower, with a big radar piece here and then another small piece there. Basically, that's all that is. It's just a new tower that houses all the new radar systems. So anyways, that is that one. What is this one over here? Oh, this is the modern version. Basically, I did, like I said, the one before Pearl Harbor, and then I came back and did this one. This was the sister to that one that were sitting side by side of the modern version. So you can see the big differences between the one before Pearl Harbor and then the one after Pearl Harbor. So yeah, it makes a big difference seeing these in person, guys. It's just absolutely stunning. Had a magnificent time seeing these, and so you can see right here, this station is just, it was completely off, and you see I had to raise everything up to get this boat station in, because I had this little thing here. So yeah, I had to raise all this up. I had to raise all this up and skinny that out so I can make the funnel bigger. This was close. It wasn't too bad for kind of guessing at it. But anyways, I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. Couldn't be more pleased with this ship right now, and I'm sure you guys, a lot of you are watering at the mouth because I got a lot of comments on this is your guys' favorite ship, and glad that I took the time to give this thing a really good final stamp of approval. But anyways, before we close this video out, again, I'm just going to show you the quick tour that we took. We come down here, walked up these stairs, went behind this 5-inch gun. This was closed off. They had a little rope across here or something. There was either a door here. It's kind of hard to make because I don't have anything real thin, so I had to make a door going through here instead. It was kind of more like a walkway, probably where the back of this boat housing connected. So this is really close. Not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. Anyways, come down here. We walked up here to this ventilation system here. Now over here was the signing deck. We couldn't get to that at the time we was walking through because they had a huge tour, a bunch of tour people over here, and then we ended up going through the rest of the ship and coming back down, and actually we didn't make our way back over to it because by that time it was really busy, and we'd already been on the ship about 4.5 hours, so we was about ready to go. But I've already seen pictures of that, and there's just a big thing on the floor here where they signed the end of the war, the surrender, and they had some documents set up, and this part here is covered, and then this part here has a canopy over it too. We actually got to go up inside this gun turret. I don't know why I say turret. It's turret. So that was really, really neat, and that was on the tour before we went on a self-guided tour. So when we got done with the 2-hour tour, where we went through, basically it was the belly of the ship, places that you can't go with like general admission. You have to pay extra. It's more exclusive. It took you down through the heart of the ship, and we went down Broadway, went down in the engine rooms and stuff like that, which was really, really awesome. When we was done, we came out, and then we took the self-guided tour. Basically, went up here, and then we came up these stairs, went around this 5-inch gun, walked down to this deck, came up these stairs here, walked out here to the Tomahawk station, took a few pictures. Walked over here, came back up these stairs, up top, past this one here, walked along here, past the Sea-Whiz, and I snapped a couple pictures here, dropped down and came around the Citadel, took some pictures on that, walked around over here on this side, and they had this side of the ship was closed off, but you could see where this station for the Sea-Whiz was, and then there is actually a set of stairs right here that I did not put back in. And there's a door right here, but it just didn't look right, so I left it off. Nobody's ever going to miss it, and you probably wouldn't have known unless you've either been there or I just told you. And then we started down these stairs. No, actually, we screwed up. We went back, walked all the way downstairs, got down on the pier, and we were looking back up the ship, and I told Dad, I said, it kind of sucks. We didn't get to see the bridge, and when I was looking up there, I said, well, there's people on the bridge. How the hell did we get to it? We walked right past it. we walked right here, went around this side, and then came back this side, and then walked right like that, and completely missed this set of stairs going down. So yes, we climbed the Missouri twice. So we followed that route all the way back up, came down the stairs, and then went inside of here. And I'm just going to go ahead and bust that out. I don't feel like hitting the button. And then looked inside the Citadel. And again, there's a big wheel here and a bunch of electronic shit inside here. You can see it in from on both sides. Walked around here. There's some bridge type stuff here. There was a captain's chair right here where we took some pictures. And then we walked out this door here. And this is about where the video stopped, is when I looked up, and that was the end of the video. But anyways, that was our tour route, and thought it would be kind of neat to let you guys see the route that we took, and then actually see it in Minecraft. And if you've already seen the video, you can kind of compare it, or if you haven't, you can go back and compare it and see how I did. But I think I did pretty damn good. I'm really, really happy. I've got some rigging on it. I forgot to talk about the rigging. There's some more rigging here for the different flags that they used to. Signaling flags they used a lot more of. Back in that era, they would send up different signaling flags to other ships to let them know, they're underway and war conditions. Just all kinds of different shit. You can look all that up. But anyways, did away with that. on the newer ships. Now, because we got communication, we can just pick up the damn cell phone and call somebody. Yes, guys, I know it's not a cell phone. But anyways, communications are totally different. So that signaling station actually come out, but the signaling station on the ship is still there. I believe the box was still here. And there's another one somewhere, and I can't remember. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere. The actual signaling block that has all the flags is still on the ship. But the flags are still there, which I thought was pretty neat. Other than that, guys, that is it. Oh, I had some really small detailing here again, and you would not know unless you've been on the ship. Either this is how many rounds. Pretty sure that's how many rounds has been fired through each turret. The front one was 289, the back one's 209, and this one is 285. Again, that's right off the side of the turret. You will not get that anywhere else. Unless you go and actually see it and take a picture of it. So I thought that was a really neat, intricate detail. And then, of course, this forward radar station that got thrown on when I got back too. Anyways, that is it for the Missouri, guys. I know, super fucking obsessive. If you're still watching this video, you're very obsessed with this thing too. And was just awestruck when you saw the video go up, and really wanted to get up and close and see just how far we've come over the past several years from the way I used to make ships to the way I make ships now. And it's just absolutely mind-boggling. And even this is just like a month ago. This is literally hot off the press, like yesterday. So yeah, definitely. I think I'm definitely getting better, and it does definitely help to see them in real life. It really does. But if you don't, and you got pictures, you do the best you can. But anyways, guys, that is it. I think I've gone over everything. This will probably be the last Missouri video, except for the tutorials. Those will be out. We are at the end of November 2015. We're going to get through the holidays. I have the HMS Hood to do yet. I have the USS Texas to do yet. And I've got to finish getting all those laid out and get tutorials for those. Get into the new year. I know it's going to be at least a couple months down. Probably I'm looking towards at least February. I got to break these things apart. Really quick, I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me hit my little speed control here. Basically, is what we're going to do is we're going to build the World War II version, and then this here is all the guns stripped off of it. So we'll, when we get done doing this, I'll say, okay, we're going to go through and strip this gun off, this gun off, this gun off, and this is what it should look like when it's done. So you can see this still has all the old tower on it. And then over here, this will be step 2, putting on the flight deck, getting all that cleaned up. And then you can see over here the very little bit of changing that I tried to do for the modification. Everything in pink is everything that's different from the World War II version. So you can see very minimalistic. I want to make this just as easy as possible. And you see nothing up front got touched. And of course, what you do to one side, we're going to do the other. Once that was done, this just shows both sides completed. So we'll fly over here and say, okay, this is 3. This is what it should look like. When you get all that switched out, switch it over to your light gray and make all your decking dark gray. And then we'll go through and we'll finish out the towers. The towers will be separate. As far as the upper part, we'll build them. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Off the funnel, we'll add this on in part 2, and then this part in part 2. And everything else stays the same. So as you can see, part 2, basically to modernize this, shouldn't be too awful bad. We should be able to get through it pretty painlessly, and you should be able to have both versions just like I have. But again, guys, always appreciate the patience. It's always gonna be patient until I can get these things out. These are massive builds. The tutorials take massive amounts of time, just almost as much time as it does building them. But I will get it done. I always do. And it should be, like I said, I'm going to shoot somewhere around February. All right, I'm done babbling. No more obsession with the Missouri. not until February or somewhere in there. First part of next year. We'll get some updates as we get closer. But like always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.